winners, man. It doesn't matter where they come from.
True. Very true. Very true.
Winners are winners. Welcome to Hammer Dahn! Number one sports gambling show coming out of the Pat McAfee Incorporated offices. I am Tone Diggs. The aforementioned Pat McAfee sitting right next to me.
How's it going?
Fucking enjoying a delicious, what are those things called? Oreos.
Double stuff. Somebody sent them inside. Whoever did it, thank you. The whole office did it.
Sitting next to him is a man that gives out picks on sports no one cares about.
Thank you, Tony.
I didn't say it.
But they're winners.
Winner's a winner. You got to find them however you can, my friends.
Money be green.
Money be green. Bubba Gumpino, how you doing, pal?
Good. How are you, Tony?
Good. And on the, what's that thing called? The face machine?
FaceTime, yeah.
FaceTime. And on the FaceTime, former NFL GM, host of the Lombardi line, the GM Shuffle Pod, subscribe to the Daily Coach and writes for The Athletic. Michael Lombardi, how are you doing today, sir?
I'm good. I'm licking my wounds, but I'm good.
Have you?
Still, as I said on Pat's show today, I'm still interested in that spot. I mean,
How do you go upstairs and not change that? That is the bigger issue. The ref pushing the ball forward on his own accord.
He slid that
But
thing.
then you go and review that and you still get it wrong. That is more of the issue.
Yeah, it's because we talk about this, and Pat has said some things about Riveron, and Riveron knows that, and Riveron sways games in away from our favor.
tremendous, really a smart man. He was the associate athletic director down at Vanderbilt, and he was been in the NBA for years. And he wanted the NFL to, when the ball is spotted on fourth down, right? And when you don't get the fourth down, the change of possession, the ball should technically flip over to the other side because now it's going in the other direction.
Oh.
Oh, I never thought of
Oh, yeah, because it's on the right hash. Flip that thing to the left hash of the right hash.
Yeah, and then just flip, and so you gain like 6 inches, whatever. But that thing was like, well, that wasn't even 6 inches. So
that. Hey, you were right about that ref in the Dolphins-Patriots
Brad
game,
Allen, you
too.
can't bet
Jesus
Brad Allen.
Christ, Mike.
Which one is he? I don't know which guy he is.
He stinks.
He has like a chiseled jawline.
What'd you say about
he
him, Mike?
looks like an old. He's just.
I mean, so on my show, I have Mike Palm, who's an astute referee analysis. He runs the sports book at the Circa. He runs the Circa, but not the sports. He's involved with the sports book, and he's a heavy gambler, loves soccer like Gump. But he turned me on to him and said, this Brad Allen guy's horrible. He was in the ACC, and they hired him. He's really bad. So on my sheet, I just put him in there, and the referee, stay away.
I took that game. Pat took that game. Pat took the right side. He took the Dolphins.
Yes, he did.
Yeah, you're damn right.
I took
Thank you.
the Patriots because I thought, they were the Patriots, but they're just not the Patriots anymore.
How did we all do this weekend?
That was dog shit. 1-4-1.
I was.
Oh my God, 4-3 because it's Thursday night things.
Hey,
So Cardinals or Eagles by half a point.
But I think we have to do this for the podcast listeners.
yeah,
you know what I mean?
100%.
Like when we go into this,
No.
we have to.
I mean, you got to put your record up there. You are what you are. You're doing this, and you got to have credibility by doing it.
Seahawks were up 20-3. Russell Wilson wanted to be a rapper again and throw the ball away.
There's been some games we've lost this year, though, by the way, that are complete bullshit.
It's every fucking weekend. The Bucs, I mean, every game. The only one I'll say was probably a bad pick is the Niners because Nick Mullins really stinks.
I don't think you can pick them anymore. I think they died when they were no longer allowed to play in San Francisco and they'd go on the road for a month.
Nick Mullen would even play in the game. I thought they would just hand it off. I thought they would run it.
You hop on that Cardinals -3.5 right now. That thing will be up to 6 by the weekend.
Can we talk about the Niners for 1 second?
Yeah.
Do you think Shanahan's idea that he can make any quarterback good has been a little bit kind of messed with the performance of Nick Mullins here?
No doubt. There was a time when Mullins actually looked good, and the more he played, the less he's looked good. I agree. You can't take just anybody.
I think Debo was the straw that stirred the drink, though. He was massive that game they won against the Rams. He went down again. Now they stink again.
The stinky?
Plus, they don't have a home field either. They haven't been home.
That's what I'm saying.
I don't know what family situations like. It can't be good.
It cannot be good. Like, as Pat, as a player,
I think
on the
you'd be sick of it, especially with your whole team's hurt, right? You guys, it feels like they're getting, now granted, everybody's been punished because of 2020, but having to live in a hotel for a few weeks, I bet you the first couple of days was pretty nice for some guys. You know what I mean? Get away from the family and everything like that for a couple of days, kind of like a little bowl game type thing. But when you're talking like 2-3 weeks at a time, plus whenever you're not, I mean, it's just, they had no shot there. We should have known that. We should have seen that happening. We should have known that.
Pat,
me off. I should have thought about that.
Exactly.
Yep.
There's a lot of those games, Paisan, when you're watching, where I'm like, God, why didn't I? We talked about this last week. Why didn't I do that? Like, there's a couple games I was watching yesterday, and I was like, how did I even think that this wasn't going to happen?
I'm going to be honest. I never even looked at the Ravens-Jags line.
Oh, my God.
I literally fucking wasn't even on my radar. I don't know how.
It wasn't mine either because my numbers on the Jags, it was like, okay, and it was like 8, and I wasn't taking the Jags and the points, so, I would have had to take in the Ravens, and I just like, oh, well, and then I thought maybe they would cover back. Ever since the Jags backdoor covered me with Cleveland, I've been reluctant.
Hey, they're in a very different world now all of a sudden after that loss yesterday that they had to – I mean, the Jets winning has changed a lot of people's lives all of a sudden.
Yeah.
Michael, do you – I can't remember if we asked you this. Do you now if you're the Jets GM, how much does it change? Do you – go with Fields? Do you stick with Darnold? Do you try to trade the second pick?
Well, I think what you have to do is compare Darnold to the field, right? To Justin Fields and whomever else, Mac Jones, and say, okay, my guy's as good as, he's better than. You've got to really do a good job evaluating Darnold as a comparison. Because what you can't do is get caught in that it's new. Like, Fields is new. Is Fields actually better than this guy? Is Fields really better than Darnold? And if he's significantly better, Al Davis used to say to me all the time, fuck, kid, I'm not looking to get a little bit better. I want to get a lot better. So what he was saying to me was, don't bring in if we have an offensive guard who's a 58 player, we're not replacing him with a 59 player because by the time we train him and teach him, it takes too long, and we've only incrementally gotten better. But if we could find a 66 player, then we're going to make that switch.
Hey.
I think that's the same conversation you got to have with Darnold as it relates to these other guys.
How about Justin Fields at Big Ten Championship? I think he hurt his draft stock.
Yeah, I think he did too. I think he really did too.
And that stinks because he was out his guy, and COVID happened and everything like that. But that's not a guy, I don't know, maybe he will be and maybe we'll be wrong, but I'm not saying you sell the farm to get that guy, though.
If someone is willing to do it, if someone's willing to give up and give the Jets like an RG3 type,
but that's what I mean. Like, I don't know.
But if not, I don't know. Mike, what are your thoughts on the college football playoff committee?
Look, I thought A&M should have been in it. I'm not sure that Notre Dame. I'm not sure that Ohio State deserved to be in it. I thought Ohio State got a pass because the Big Ten's not very good. I didn't think they dominated the Big Ten. And, I think the Southeast Conference is better. I think Notre Dame deserves to be in there based on their play through the year. I would have replaced – I think Nick Saban's power ranks – did you see that online today?
No.
Yeah. We only saw Dabo's.
They had one with both.
Dabo had Ohio State 10. Nick had Ohio State 5. I think I would have been more inclined to be where Nick was. I would have put A&M in there at 4.
That Alabama-Florida game was the game of the year on Saturday night. Man, that was good football. Kyle Trask, yes. I would very intrigued. If I was the Steelers, I draft Kyle Trask.
He won't make it to him.
I know.
He sits for a year behind Ben.
Yeah, he's going to get picked up early, especially with how he's playing. And also that fucking
tight end. Those guys are going to go in the top 10. That's why you have to compare Darnold to them.
You think he goes top 10?
Well, I believe
all these teams need quarterbacks. Those quarterbacks don't wait till the dance comes to them. You got to go get them.
Trey Lance will get jumped by those guys probably because he didn't play this year, is my assumption, Mike.
You could put it, the Colts will be back there. The Patriots will be back there. The teams that need Chicago's back there. They need quarterbacks. Washington could be back. They need quarterbacks. How they're going to sit there and hope one comes to them?
Who do you think is the most likely to be the Patriots quarterback next year, Mike?
I think it's probably somebody in the draft. That would be my guess. Unless San Francisco lets go of Garoppolo.
Yeah.
Who's that backup dude it's been up there?
In
Who did?
Stidham. Now, I mean, we haven't seen him play this year, so maybe now that they're eliminated, they'll play Stidham.
Hey, there's no way Belichick doesn't let the Jets beat him that last week, huh?
Yeah. I mean, there's no – why would Chris Ballard – I mean, Frank Wright retreat, be a parish tank and go home because there's no sense in letting you – I mean, why would you want to play against Lawrence twice a year?
What about even Jacoby could go back to the Pats if Jimmy G could?
I mean, I think Jacoby, everybody kind of knows what he is. He's a great kid, great leader, just doesn't have great anticipation.
You are such a savage.
Hey.
Did you hear that?
Hey,
Did you hear that?
Calls like he sees it.
Everyone's hot on the Bills could beat the Chiefs. I think the Colts are the team that could beat the Chiefs.
I like the Colts a lot.
I'm not so. Bills can do whatever they want. I watched them play the Chiefs once, and it wasn't close.
Yeah, I mean, I think the Colts, you got to be able to run the ball. You got to take time off the clock. I mean, like I said today on Pat's show, the Carolina formula is the one you got to utilize. You got to run. You got to keep the ball 36 minutes. And the only way you do that is you got to run. You got to have you have to have an extensive run game plan.
But, man, if they want to win, they do.
You just turn it on. But like yesterday, I mean, the longest play they had was a 24-yard run by Mahomes. And then they had a 23-yard pass to Watkins and a 23-yard pass to Robinson. I mean, they kept the ball in front of them. The problem was they were 9 for 18 on third down, stopping them. They were 50% on third down.
Hey, you're the GM for that team. You just got to hang on tight and just be like, the boys will turn it on. The boys will turn it on. Whatever. Andy Reid even doing the same thing because there were some drops early.
You think they're bored?
I don't know.
Because they seem vulnerable sometimes.
They're making mistakes, too, is the big thing for me.
Well, early they were making some. And then whenever they don't want to anymore, they don't. It's just, the play. The extended play where Patrick Mahomes runs around. It's going to work. Like at some point it's going to work. Early it wasn't, though. It's just like, that's a wild thing to have if you're a part of that program. Like, for instance, a punter, you're just like sitting there watching along. I'd be so intrigued to just kind of hang out and be like, the boys are going to turn it on whenever they have to. I know it. They know it. And it's just, that's the way it is at this point.
We didn't
But think about this, though. They beat Carolina by 2. They beat Vegas by 4. They beat Tampa by 3. We know that wasn't a close game, but they won by 3. They beat Denver by 6. They beat Miami by 6, and they beat New Orleans by 3. In all those games, other than Carolina and Vegas, the last 4, they've been in complete domination of the games, and yet they've been through under a touchdown.
And they don't cover.
But they're in complete control of the game.
Tell you what, if I'm you just brought up the Dolphins there. I am praying that they continue to win, and if the Steelers somehow find a 2, I'd much rather play the Dolphins than the Baltimore Ravens.
In playoffs, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, the Ravens.
I would much rather play the Miami Dolphins than the Baltimore Ravens.
You want the Fins?
Bro, you want Chan Gailey run the hook and ladder on a 2-point play, dude? Chan Gailey's 95 years old, run a hook and ladder on a 2-point.
Chan Gailey could be saving the playbook for the playoffs.
Who do you think's favored in a Baltimore Ravens Miami Dolphins matchup?
I'm just saying, the devil you know is better than the devil you don't, my friend.
Hey,
you already beat the Ravens twice.
Tua's slinging it, dude.
Oh, yeah.
He's a player, man. Tua's a player.
He's a winner, man. 5-2.
Who would you rather play, Mike?
I would definitely rather play Miami. I love Miami's defense, but I'll take the quarterback who won't throw the ball over 20 yards. I mean, he had 15. The longest pass he had was 15 yards.
That's just because he had no weapons, Mike. That was all.
Tua, you got your contact coming up?
Yeah, keep making them.
By the way, did we catch you fixing a contact there? You all right?
Yeah, I did.
How have you not had LASIK yet? Have you don't want it?
I did, but then when you have LASIK and you get to 50, like I am, you can't see up close, and you start to.
You gotta get cheaters.
What do you got in that?
Cheaters,
what do you got in that Yeti, Mike?
Oh, I got some tea in that Yeti, man. It's cold here. My office is cold. I kind of sit like in between like the wind zone.
I got LASIK. I'm gonna have glasses.
Get some cheaters.
I'll get them glasses. I'll do that thing with the glasses.
That's what my dad did.
I get the contacts because it's just easy. I put them in I don't have to think about it. I wear my glass, and then I lose. I don't want to lose them. And
hey, a lot of Italians up in Canada. I didn't know that.
Yeah, that's where a lot of people migrated. They came over on that boat. They got stuck. They went up there. Mostly, like in this little beach town, there's a lot of. They're all from the same little island in Italy. They're all from Capri.
I went to Capri. It's beautiful.
Really?
Yeah.
I'd like to go to Italy sometime, man.
You should take your wife to. They're all from a little island called Ischia, which is the island right next to Capri. It's beautiful, magnificent. Capri is where Caesar used to go into the Blue Grotto and kind of just lay in there. Beautiful.
And do what?
off the coast of Naples.
What would he do in that grotto?
I don't know. I don't know if it was like Hef's Grotto or not out of the place mansion. I'm not sure what it was.
This I don't know.
Idea.
This I don't know. Sorry, we got off track there.
What do you think about the Cowboys-Eagles line starting as a pick'em, Mike?
I was surprised by that because I thought the Eagles would be favored. Like my line on that, I thought the Eagles should have been a 2.5-point favorite going in.
So you betting that now? You want to put that bet in?
No. I mean, I did my early lines based on last week's power numbers just to see where it would be, and then I'll redo them tomorrow after all the games are played.
Any other surprising look-ahead lines?
Let me think. Let me get right.
Dolphins.
I could run.
Dolphins minus
Diggs,
2.5 Saturday night.
I could run through it real quick.
A little light on the Dolphin Raider game.
I'll run through them.
That's going to be.
Speak up if you like it. Vikings at Saints on Christmas Day. We get a Friday Christmas Day game, which is awesome.
Love that.
Saints are -7.
Well, I'm not taking the Vikings. I'll tell you that.
definitely
And I'm not betting on the
I would be
Saints.
all over the Saints. Although my number on that game there was 7.5.
How Mike Zimmer has to take some responsibility for that yesterday, does he not?
He does.
He does.
The fucking defensive mastermind.
And is Nagy not going to get fired now?
I think they probably keep him. I wouldn't be surprised. Who's the guy that had the Mitchell Trubisky jersey on?
Zito.
I love him. God, I love him.
If they run it back with Nagy and Mitch, it'll be electric.
Awesome.
I love it. I would love to.
What would their record be if they never went to Nick Foles? If they kept Maserati Mitch in there, are they competing for the NFC North? These are the questions.
Yeah, I mean, I think, that's a great question. Maserati 143 yards against the Vikings the last time they played them.
Stud.
Remember? I mean, that game was on Monday night. That was one of the games I had the Bears in because the Bears had always played well against Minnesota. I took the Bears in that game, and we lost 19-13, and they had a total of 149 yards of offense. Thank you very much, Maserati, Nick Foles.
Bucks at Lions. Lions are +9.5 at home. I'll probably stay away from that one.
Yeah, I'm about done betting on
all the way
Bucks.
up to 9.5. That opened at
7.5.
That's
it
gonna be a
opened at
tough-
7.5. It's all the way up to 9.5.
Yeah.
Wow.
That's going to be a tough one there.
Niners at the Cardinals. -3.5 are the Cards.
Cards.
Seems light, but
Very.
It does seem kind of small, doesn't it?
I mean, I can't believe he's got Nick Mullins as the starter. Why wouldn't he go back to C.J. Beathard?
CJ came in late yesterday again and looked good.
You see him throw that deep ball. They went up there and got
on
it.
my board, it has Carr as the starter at Vegas, which I don't think is right.
Oh, yes, that's the next game. Dolphins at Raiders. Dolphins are -2.5 going to the desert.
Who's starting?
It's got to be.
Carr's trying to rush back. They said 10 to 14 days.
I thought he was done. Did he pop his groin? What happened if he can get back? What
He
happened?
ain't coming
I don't
back.
know what he's got going on that.
He ain't coming back.
For how serious that was, he leaves that big game, and then he comes back next game. That's
No
an
way.
interesting. What was it?
He can't possibly have any movement if he comes back. He's a sitting duck back there.
What if he does though? Then you have to wonder a lot more.
Yeah.
Tough to ask his brother.
Says
His brother. His brother bashes kickers and punters all the time, and I respect it. Like, if you play in the NFL, you can do that, but that guy.
Why do you have to bash kickers and punters? I mean, the game's on the line. They win the game. Either you win or you know. Why would you not like a kicker?
Hey, I appreciate that and respect that, but a lot of people that get on TV, they buy into the narrative that all these people have never played the game before about kickers and punters not mattering. And by the way, if you play in the NFL, you can say whatever the fuck you want, but that guy comes after it all the time. I'm like, yo, chill out, dude. You're fucking David Carr, bro.
Oh, David.
You're fucking David Carr,
Are you
dude.
surprised the Chiefs are only a 10.5-point favorite against the Falcons?
Atlanta always seems to play games tight for whatever reason.
And then the one that shocked me was the Seattle's favorite against the Rams.
What you say about the Chiefs right there? Chiefs are only favored by what?
10. I got him at 10.
10 against the Falcons?
At home, yeah.
How is that not a 2-touchdown score? How's that not? And it's in Kansas City.
Yeah, but those Falcons, dude, hey, if they play anything like they did in the first half, Matt Ryan was looking like he was trying to prove to people, I can be worth some of that money I'm guaranteed the next couple of years.
Maybe Vegas thinks Steelers are going to lose tonight, and then the Chiefs are going to have a
Nothing to
2-game
play
lead
for.
and nothing to play for.
Now we need the Steelers to win tonight so the Bills rest everybody week 17.
It is quite a little thing that we're going to pay attention to here this last couple
About
weeks.
the Dolphins or who's
About
resting?
everything.
And
Yeah.
who's resting?
How many people are going to take Chicago next week down in Jacksonville?
Oh,
The
everybody.
line there is 7.5 at Jacksonville for the Bears.
Jeez.
That goes to 8 before.
What if the Jags just ruin it, you know? What if they just go win a game and all the players and coaches are thrilled about that, but then their organization's like, God, he was in the ACC already. The fan base is going to be massive here.
But let's not forget now, this kid, he can come back another year if he wants.
Mike, you know he's not going
That's what Connor Campbell here, Boston Connor's been saying the entire time.
You think
Look, he can come back another year if he even if he don't play. If he says, okay, I'm going to not risk getting hurt, I'm just going to hang out with my girlfriend, and I'll enter the draft the next year from now.
Yeah, but he's going to end up on a bad team anyways. If you're a GM and he does that, don't you kind of want to smack him in the mouth?
Well, I mean, you got to talk to him, but I mean, I'm not saying he's going to do it, but that's the leverage that he does have. You got Elway used it. I mean, Andrew Luck didn't use it, but there's guys that have had that in their
Bo, right? Did Bo Jackson get drafted to the Raiders and say, I'm not doing it and go play?
But that was, this was Hugh Culverhouse when he owned the Bucks, who might have been the cheapest man alive, and nobody wanted to play for the Bucks then.
Oh, so it was the Bucks that drafted him. He said, no, I'm going to go play baseball. I'm not doing it.
He said, I'm out. Yeah, I'm out. And then Steve Young, they drafted Steve Young in football in the XFL draft, and then he went down there and he was a disaster, and then we traded for him in '86. And we gave him a second-round pick, and DeBarlow gave him $1 million worth of cash, and we got Steve Young.
You said XFL?
Yeah, it was the USFL. I'm sorry, USFL.
That was that had a little bit of a run, didn't it? The USFL.
It did, and there are a lot of good players in that league. Trump had a team in that league.
I remember that.
There were good players in that league. We had a USFL draft where you got to pick, like the Houston Oilers. They got Mike Rozier out of that. There's a lot of good players in that draft. It was 3 rounds. It was really good. And then we ended up trading for Steve Young. When Coach Walsh called a meeting, he made everybody go upstairs to the meeting, and he was going to tell them we were trading for Steve Young, asked everybody who was in favor, put their hands up. He didn't have one vote. He walked out of the room and said, fuck it, I'm doing it anyway.
Hey,
That's the type of decision-making I like.
Yes.
Conviction.
That Rams-Seahawks game is massive.
What is it?
for the division, Rams at Seahawks. Seahawks are -1.5.
Seahawks seem to not be broken anymore. Rams just by the way, how do you feel if you are the New York Jets organization and the Rams head coach, after losing to your team in week 15 of the NFL season, goes, I'm embarrassed and sick to my stomach that we fucking lost to that team. Like, if you're the Jets, that's a hilarious shot from McVay. But I'll be excited to see how they bounce back.
On the broadcast, they said that this rarely happens, but McVay called Gase during the week and said, like, hey, I'm watching tape. I'm impressed how hard your team is playing for you, blah, 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 with your current record. Is that weird to you, Mike?
Yeah, it is. I thought he would do it after the game, but I don't disagree with him. Look, the Raiders should have lost to the Jets. The Jets, even that Seattle game, 40-6, they missed those field goals. The Jets have played hard. They're not any good. They play hard, though.
Yeah, they were up on the Patriots that whole game too, right?
And hold on. Did Gase take that personally?
They could have 3 wins.
Did Gase take that personally, Diggs?
They didn't say.
Do you think he would or no?
It seemed like they were friends.
Oh, okay. So he called him and was like, yo, I expected this team.
Yeah.
All right. Because you could see how Gase would be, and I took that personally. You know what I mean? How that could potentially be something.
Tell you what, another big one. Titans at Packers this weekend.
That's a big game. Sunday Night Football, too.
-3.5.
Start opened at 4.5.
Moving a little bit.
Ooh, Packer money coming in. Line 56.5 down to 55.
What do you think on that one? I feel like that's a tough
I'm
matchup
going
for
to
the.
go with Aaron because I think this defense is so bad on Tennessee. He'll exploit them.
Derrick Henry running against that Packers
Oh, it's
defense, so
Dude,
Yeah.
if you see in the second quarter that he is moving, it's just lock it in. Like, if he's moving early against them, when they get tired, it's only going to get worse. It is. It's kind of awesome to watch that thing. It's literally just like a boxing match where you're just beating them down, and then eventually they just quit.
The game of the week next week might be the Carolina Panthers and the Washington football
I
team.
love Carolina in that one. I have just about to bring it up. Carolina's +1.5 at Washington. One team can score, one team cannot.
Who's quarterback over there? Dwayne?
Dwayne,
Threw 55
Dewey.
times this weekend.
Yeah, a lot of throwing for Dwayne.
How good would Washington be if they had a quarterback?
Think about it. Wow.
And then Colts at Steelers. Steelers are currently -3.
Colts getting 3 there is very intriguing.
We'll see how tonight goes.
Yeah, I bet you that one moves.
Yeah, we don't even know how the Steelers are going to be. They just lost 2 games in a row after winning 11. What do they do against the Bungles tonight? Could you imagine if the Steelers lose tonight?
My God. All those people in Survivor would go completely. I mean, Survivor, there was, I think there were 22 people that took the Rams in the Survivor pool and lost.
Is that circa $1 million survival one?
Which there was 89 people in it going into this weekend, and I think now it's down to 60-something. But think about it. You plan it out all year, and you do it, and you say, okay, week 14, I got the Rams. I'm going to take the Rams and use them against the Jets. And basically you get like Jackie Jr. did when he got shot from behind by Vito. You just get shocked.
Hold on. So how's that thing work? You just have to make one bet a week?
Mm-hmm. You make one bet a week. Most of the guys plan it out. The Thanksgiving Day game is the Thanksgiving weekend is its own week. So there's 18 weeks you've got to make a bet, and you can only use the team once.
When is it at Moneyline too, Mike?
Just whoever wins.
Yeah.
Whoever.
Oh, and you can only use the team once?
Correct.
A tie's a loss.
Oh, jeez. How many people? And then it just keeps going until there's one?
1,000 people in it. Now they're down to like 65. I think 12 have the Steelers tonight.
Oh, geez.
I would have lost week 1 because I would have taken the Colts.
I mean, I had a guy on Twitter sent me a direct message asking me for advice about. I think he was asking me advice. How about this? He was asking me for advice on the Raider Jet game. He was nervous about taking the Raiders in that game, so he switched off and he took Seattle. And then he took the Rams he saved the Rams for the Jets.
Oh.
I told him I was nervous about the Raiders going back and all that. And so was he. I mean, he ultimately did what he had to do, but and then now he got shot from behind on the Ram one.
I mean, that came out of nowhere. They were up 20-3 at one point. I mean, it was fucking bad, dude. Made no sense. That's gambling,
That's gambling, baby. All right, speaking of tonight's game, Steelers at Bengals, 14.5 is the line. Over under 40.5 is the total. 62% of the bets of the tickets are on the Steelers, but only 43% of the money. Line to open at 12 is up to 14.5. What do you think, Mike?
Shefty just reported that James Conner will not play tonight. He's downgraded to out.
Benny Snell getting his start for the Pittsburgh Steelers.
Will get a start. That's right. There it is. I mean, look, I can't take Ryan Finley in this game. I'm sorry. I just can't do it. The Bengals, when they had Burrow, got beat by 24.
Ryan Finley
what was it?
Ryan Finley under yards at 187.5 is worth a look.
Yeah.
Especially against that Steelers D.
What were you going to say, Mike?
I mean, I love the under in this game because I don't think the Bengals can score.
40.
40.
That's very low, dude.
And it's not like the Steelers' offense has been fucking lighting anybody up.
I mean, if the line's over 14.5, almost don't you have to take Cincy? I don't want to do it, but don't you?
Steelers are the 7th team to be a favorite of 7 points or more on the road in December or later since 2003. Previous 6 teams are 1-5 against the spread.
Steelers under Ben Roethlisberger are 2-11 ATS when they're a road favorite of 10 or more. Did you have some on that, Gumpy?
Big Ben 13-24 against the spread as a double-digit favorite.
They always play down to their competition.
But
always.
Steelers on a full week of rest for the first time in a long time as well. That is why I don't like the spread full game. I don't like the -7.5 either for half. I will take the Steelers first quarter -3.
Nice.
Hey.
Good bet. Hey, that's a good bet out there.
Got to think outside the box on this one.
Hey, funny you say
I
that.
like that one.
Funny you say
on that one?
Well, hold on. You want to join him on that one, you said?
Yeah.
Okay, Mike Paisan's on that one as well.
Because I don't want to play the game, so I got to play something here. It's a betting show. You keep reminding me of that.
Well, I'm going to play that as well, the first quarter thing, and I'm also going to take Benny Snell as an anytime touchdown scorer plus Pittsburgh Steelers win So I'll do Benny Snell touchdown score plus Pittsburgh Steelers win, which is an anytime touchdown / match winner. And I'll get that at plus 115. That feels good.
What was that?
Benny Snell Jr. touchdown score and Pittsburgh Steelers win. Plus 115.
Oh,
That's plus 115.
Plus 115. I just bet that.
Gumpy, my only issue.
I know the Steelers have been bad in the first quarter, but my issue is the second quarter, Tony, is minus 4.5, and I don't like it. And they outscored the Bengals 12-0 in the first game in the first quarter, and they also outscored the Browns 10-0 in the first quarter as well.
The only reason I don't like it is because I assume if they win the toss, I see. I don't know.
A pick six.
They'll defer.
Pick six. Minka
Bengals
to the
You're
house.
Pittsburgh's plus 25 in first quarter point differential. The Cincinnati Bengals are minus 12.
This was from October.
Hey, that sounds like 37 points our favor, boys.
This was from October. In the 20 games since the start of the 2019 season, the Steelers have only scored on one of their opening drives. That's the only reason why I don't like them. Randy Fichtner, like I've said a bunch of times, is the worst offensive coordinator in the National Football League. He doesn't like to score on the first drive, so it's just
Okay, so that makes sense then. That means tonight he'll do opposite because we're betting on it.
true. Hopefully.
They're fresh.
You know what I mean?
They're fresh for the first time in a long time.
Oh, they're
Full
coming
week.
out guns blazing.
Guns blazing.
Guns blazing.
All right, to refresh for the listeners, Mike, what are you taking them tonight? Because you have to, because it's
I'm gonna take the Gump one. Whatever
First
he has
quarter.
buffet line, I'm taking that.
Nice.
first quarter -3.
Yes,
Pat's
sir.
taking Benny Snell, and the Steelers win for plus 115.
Bingo.
Then I'm not taking anything because
It's a betting show.
I can't.
Oh yeah.
This guy, take the under.
It's a betting show.
No.
Take the under.
What? So then it's 20, 21, 14, and I need a score for the Steelers to tie it up, and I'm rooting against them?
Take
No,
the
that's
over
not-
then.
Take go over.
No.
Take something.
Steelers are going to win 38
Take
10.
a bet, Tony.
Just bet the goddamn game. It's a betting show.
I'm not betting tonight's game.
Bet the game.
I could give you bull picks for the rest of the week.
Oh, how about this? We only got a couple weeks left. Can't miss these opportunities.
Week 16 on the horizon, Tony.
Right there, a couple days away.
Can't do it, guys.
We got Christmas games coming up already. It's 2021.
Can't do it.
Wow.
All right, here, I'll give you this.
How about the Benny Snell touchdown Steeler win?
There's a first drive prop bet here.
You're going to go against this.
Punt is minus 155. I'll go with that.
Wow. Pittsburgh Steelers first drive punt minus 155.
I think it's
Or
first,
just
it's
first
just the
drive
first
in
drive of the
general.
game.
That's not a bad bet.
That's a great
The
bet.
Steelers defer.
Hey, good for you finding that bet.
It popped up right in front of
It's
me.
a good bet.
What happens
Tony.
if it's kickoff return to the house?
I think that's a loss.
Yeah, that's an L.
Because the drive did.
That's an
I don't know.
electric bet. Right off the hop.
All right, just need a punt here.
All right, Mike. Hey, thank you so much.
What are we doing now? Wednesday?
Yeah. Is that good with you guys?
Yeah, we're off Thursday,
I'll be ready
Friday.
to go. Don't worry.
Yeah, we'll do Wednesday.
Thanks, guys. Have a good one tonight.
Have a good
See
one,
you, Mike.
Mike.
Hey, good luck.
He's gone.
He's so fast.
I do have some college football bowl game picks for the next couple days, dude.
Tiggs, how about you finding one of the best bets out there?
Like,
That's a nice bet, Tony.
I mean, minus 155. I didn't know that was the standard for us to bet
it's
on.
not.
Okay, no,
But you guys are making me do
No,
something.
but you did bet.
Yeah, I did.
Have you ever bet on the Steelers winning?
No.
I bet on the Dolphins once this year, and they got shit kicked by the
I
Broncos.
think the last time I did was like 2011, and it didn't go well, so done.
You know, the last two times you've worn that cowboy hat, the games have been played, they fucking stunk. So, are you just going to cut that off forever? Oh, no! Bro, it's a great hat. It fucking won 11 games.
I burned the my lucky shirt. I burned it.
No, that
Oh,
thing won
Shalim?
11 games.
You can't burn a Shalif shirt.
Bro, it's a winner, dude.
No, not anymore. It's not. I burned it. Get rid of the bad
Oh,
juju.
Ryan Shazier, dude.
It's not against him, but
Oh, it's a little
You
late.
set that thing on fire like the fucking Randy
the
Orton.
shirt lost everything.
Jeez Louise.
Bowl picks: Nevada and the famous Idaho Potato Bowl, BYU and the RoofClaim.com Boca Raton Bowl, Georgia Southern and the R&L Carriers New Orleans Bowl, and FAU Memphis under the Montgomery Bowl. That
When
gets
did-
you through Wednesday.
When do those start?
Today they started.
Today,
The
yeah.
Beach Bowl's
There's
on.
one-
The
there's one
Beach
right
Bowl's
now.
going on right now between App State and North Texas.
The Beast Bowl?
Beach
Beach
the
Bowl?
Myrtle Beach Bowl.
Myrtle Beach.
Oh, I remember Myrtle Beach is a problem. Are they playing on that teal field?
Yeah,
Yes, sir.
How come they're calling it the Myrtle Beach Bowl then whenever I got yelled at for saying that
You
place
got yelled by one random caller who didn't know what the fuck he was talking about.
Conway? Is that what's called?
I think
Dunway.
it might have been
Donway?
Conway. Can't
Dude,
believe I
people don't know
forgot
what they're talking about.
Hey,
Who would have thought?
how about you? Have you won any bets lately on any sports that are irrelevant?
6-2-2 soccer yesterday.
Bingo. That's what I'm talking about.
That would mean you were undefeated in college football Friday night.
How
Yeah.
about that? The under.
And I had Oregon, and Gumpy didn't agree with.
I fucking had Ohio State to cover
I
that.
had LSU on Saturday though.
Attaboy, pal.
Missouri shit the bed though. They got spanked.
M-I-Z? Zeal, you got your ass beat out there.
All right, as you heard, we'll be back Wednesday at 3:30.
Show stinks, though.
It does.
Actually, this show is a good show. I feel like I learn a lot.
Put
on
up the
this show.
records, Matt.
I feel like I learn a lot on this show.
I mean, Lombardi's now 26-3-5, or 26-35
That's good, right?
after his tough weekend of 0-4. I am 48-47. Not great either. 2-3 this weekend. Pat 51-45. That a boy.
That'd be
Hey, I
it.
had to climb.
And then Gump 48-58-1. Fuck. Another rough weekend, Paul.
Yep. I don't know.
You know, after this football season's over, we'll just track all the bets, and things will go better.
We gonna be all right.
We're gonna be all right. Hammer
Dahn.